Welcome, friends of the Greasy Shop Rag. Today we're going to take a look at a Husqvarna 40 volt battery extended reach pole saw. This is a consumer grade piece of equipment, and it looks like this customer must have got it pinched in something and bent it or ran it over. I can't really tell. I wasn't there when he dropped it off, so I'm not sure what happened. In fact, while I was on vacation, our parts staff ordered this new replacement tube. So I didn't have to worry about any of that. I didn't diagnose it. In fact, there's a round gray cylinder piece laying there on the bench. That's the connector between the two halves, and someone had already drilled the rivets out of that and separated the thing when they were trying to decide what pieces we needed for this repair. I've never done one of these before. It's a relatively new piece of equipment, and no one screwed one up yet. The toolless adjuster on these things is fairly decent for what it is. I mean, it's hard for someone to get in trouble with that. Makes life pretty simple on the homeowner. So we're just going to clean some of the gunk out of here and make working on it a little easier. There's a snap ring that holds the chain drive gear onto the motor shaft. Pop the snap ring, pull the gear, simple stuff. Now, one of the screws that hold these two halves together is not accessible until I remove that silver bar guide plate, whatever you want to call it there. So we're going to take that plate off. This Husqvarna 40 volt lineup is pretty decent. They've got a regular chainsaw that's been quite popular, pretty durable. Had some commercial guys using them on crews where they're worried about maybe dropping a saw in the lake. Well, if you drop a $229 battery, and that's for a whole bundle, you know, battery powered saw in the lake, and you wreck it, it's better than dropping a $500 chainsaw in the lake. So we've had some guys that, commercial guys that have been using them. They work pretty good. They've got a handheld blower. They've got a battery powered hedge trimmer. What else do they got? A little battery powered string trimmer. This is just the consumer lineup. There's a whole line of pro stuff as well. So this connector, it's held into this plastic holder with a pin. It's a pretty simple setup. That pin just keeps that connector in place, and the pin can't come out when everything's pushed together. This guy crushed this thing so bad he must have bent it over like 90 degrees to get that kink in there. So we got to open it up a little bit to get our wire out and get the old tube out of here. Both halves are jacked up. Well, like I said before, I came back to this repair after being on vacation, and holy crap, am I behind. Hey, you gotta go on vacation, alright? So this red wire was a little compromised, and I figured I'd just put a little electrical tape on it. I was trying to decide if I wanted to use liquid tape or vinyl tape, and in the end this was just the easiest way to do it. So I threw some tape on both the hot and the ground. Look at that motor in there. It really isn't that much, but the thing's got good enough torque, you know. Gets the job done, I guess. So this might be taking a little longer than normal. I don't have a routine for this type of equipment yet. Like I said, this is the first time working on one. And looking back, there might be a couple things I would do different next time, but if I do, you'll see them in a video. So we'll slap this half back together. No reason watching that in regular speed. We'll get that bar guide plate back on. And our drive gear. And I'm just kind of putting this stuff together so I have it all intact. I gotta get that chain sharpened before I finish putting this together, but I just didn't want to lose any of those pieces because, like I said before, you might not see it in the picture, but all around the outside where you can't see is full of broke-ass chainsaws. We had a big storm come through a few weeks back, and I'm still getting stuff coming in. So there you can see I cheated a little bit. I snapped a picture of that connector when I took it apart. I mean, I probably could have put it back together without that picture, but why? I mean, it's 2021. We got cameras in our pockets, right? My memory ain't that great anyway. Snap, that's what we wanted to hear. So, like I said earlier, they drilled the rivets out of this piece. Well, they must be a metric size rivet because the closest thing was 3/16, and that was just a little tight. So I could open it up to 3/16, and those are the rivets I had in the shop, so those are the rivets we're going to use. And I tell you, this little snap-on drill here, it's just wonderful. Lightweight, can get it in a lot of spots. If I need something big and torquey to crank on a 1/2-inch bit, I'll grab a different drill. But 90% of what I do is just light work like this. You know, boring jobs with the drill. I'm waiting for the pop. Pop. There it is. And then we'll catch one on the other side. I think they got this thing so it'll break in half just for storage or for hauling it in your car or something. I don't know. I mean, it's not telescoping or anything like that. So this really completes the repair. I mean, you know, there's 4 feet on one side, maybe, yeah, 4 feet. Another 4 feet on this side. You can, homeowner can reach up, grab something about 12 feet off the ground, I suppose. We're just going to make sure it runs, get that chain sharpened up, and send it. Got a 40-volt battery. Hit the right switch, you dummy. There you go. Thanks for watching. Later.